Hey, what's up? Thanks for clicking. Season 52 is here, and with it brings the wrong thumbnail. What the heck? Where did I put this? Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Easy fix. All right, let's try this again. Season 52 is here, and it brings us the first pet from the rodent tree, Peanut the Squirrel. In this video, we'll break down what it brings to the table, see how it stacks up against the other pets, share some final thoughts on its performance, and then wrap things up with a look at the latest patch notes. Looking at its stats, Peanut, when fully leveled to 10, deals 60% of your hunter's damage with each attack, while utilizing 80% of your hunter's attack speed. Since the rodent pet line seems to be focused on earth damage, Peanut's special attack adds bonus earth damage equal to 50% of your hunter's damage. Because both Peanut's base and bonus damage scale off your hunter, each of Peanut's attacks effectively deal 110% of your hunter's damage in total. The aura, aptly named Earth Aura, provides a 30% bonus to earth damage dealt, which, like other pets, only applies to hunters, not to Peanut himself. However, unlike the aura, Peanut's talents do scale its personal damage output. Earth's Ire is the first talent in the rodent tree, increasing all earth damage dealt by 20% when fully ranked at 10 out of 10. Since it boosts all earth damage, this bonus applies not only to your hunter, but also to Peanut's 50% earth damage component. The economy talent, Treasures of the Earth, is currently displaying incorrect bonuses due to a visual bug, which should be fixed soon. Core provided a chart outlining the correct breakdown per talent point spent. With 1 point allocated, you'll receive a random level 1 stone 100% of the time. At 5 talent points allocated, there is a 40% chance for the level 1 stone, and now a 60% chance to get a level 2. Once your pet is max level with full loyalty and all 12 talent points invested, you'll have a 35% chance to get a random level 2 stone, and a 65% chance to get a level 3, completely eliminating all level 1 stones. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's see how Peanut stacks up against the previous pet releases, and we'll utilize the same tests I ran in my patch 3.4.0 video for the dragon, canine, and feline pets. Now, just like before, I'm starting with a general comparison of how much DPS the pet contributes relative to your hunter. Converting Peanut's values into decimals for the formula, we get a result of about 48% of your hunter's DPS. Now for reference, dragons came in at around 60%, canines at 70%, and felines also landed at 48%. But keep in mind, the canine pet, Cerberus, has a ramping damage mechanic, and once that mechanic is fully stacked up, it can reach upwards of 105% of your hunter's DPS. So if that's the case, fair is fair. Peanut deserves to be tested with their special ability factored in too, which adds in the extra 50% earth damage as we previously mentioned. So as we discussed, since this bonus is based off the hunter's damage, just like Peanut's auto attacks, we can reasonably treat this 50% bonus the same way we treat the flat 60% from auto attacks. Now technically this isn't 100% accurate, as earth resistances do exist, but since we're testing in a vacuum here, it's a fair enough assumption. Running the numbers again with that included, Peanut now clocks in at around 88% of your hunter's DPS. The next step in our testing is comparing the special abilities of dragon and feline pets. Now, since you can't easily calculate their DPS bonuses directly, like we did with Peanut and Cerberus, we'll just take them into the training dummies and see what we get. We'll run this test using the same setup as before, utilizing Leprechaun as our hunter, with the same starting perks and gear loadout. Because some pets ramp up their damage over time with stacking debuffs, we'll take DPS readings at the 15, 30, and 60 second marks. So here are the results. As we can see, one of the benefits of Peanut is that it requires absolutely no ramp up time to get all of its damage up and running. All of its damage happens immediately and up front, requiring no stacking to take place, which makes him perform really well when killing medium to small hit point targets. Another thing that we can see, just like the last time we read this test, the results are all over the place, with a clear advantage for the pet that can stack damage endlessly. Which will lead us to our third and final test, which will be conducted using the same exact conditions, allowing for Leprechaun to DPS alongside the pets, using stones that should benefit all pets somewhat equally, while we time exactly how long it takes each of them to burn through 1 billion hit points worth of damage, giving us our net DPS. And here are those results, and I gotta say, I'm pretty shocked to see that Peanut had the same exact kill time as Cerberus, resulting in identical DPS. To try and speed up Peanut's kill time, I spec'd into the bonus to earth damage in its talent tree, as we previously established that this bonus applies to Peanut as well. I once again ran that test, but unfortunately, since Leprechaun's damage is just so low for this test, the extra earth damage Peanut was dealing was only about 2,000-ish more per hit, and on a 1 billion hit point target, the increase is just negligible and it resulted in the same exact kill time. But, just out of curiosity, what would happen if we pitted these two pets head to head with a hunter who has high health and damage to help scale them both? Let's take a quick look at what that might look like with a level 50 Leprechaun with no perks selected to keep it even, and see how they compare. Now, it ended up being a really close race, but Peanut did manage to squeak out a victory.
My acorn is missing.
Squeak, squeakin', squeak, squeakity.
Did you eat the acorn?
Squeaker, squeak, squeak, squeakin'.
You owe me a new acorn.
However, if we remove the hunter's DPS and just let the pets race one another, the kill times drastically slow down, allowing Cerberus to shine and dominate the poor little squirrel. There are so many variables that can take place here that can easily tip the scales in either pet's favor. These include gear sets, power stones, your hunters that you're using, dungeon resistances, fighting conditions, movement, target swapping, all that good stuff. But these basic tests have accomplished their goal, giving us a better understanding of how best to utilize each of these pets. While Peanut and Cerberus have somewhat comparable DPS values in about a 60-second fight, they should be used differently. Cerberus can and will out DPS Peanut in a prolonged fight once its damage is fully ramped up, especially against earth damage resistant enemies. However, Cerberus's main drawback is when it has to swap targets. It only gains stacking damage from consecutive attacks on the same target. If a boss goes immune and you're forced to swap to a golem or something like that, or maybe you're just out there going from mob to mob trying to farm some XP, Cerberus's DPS will drop significantly as it will not be able to fully ramp up its damage. Peanut, on the other hand, delivers solid damage with no strings attached. Every attack it performs deals the same amount of damage, making it the best pet in the game so far for target swapping. Which, if you think about it, how often in Hunt Royale are you actually able to just stand there and deal sustained damage to only a single target as we did with these tests? Immunities, summoned adds, golems, totems, all that stuff needs to be swapped to and dealt with at some point in an encounter. Add in floors that are vulnerable to earth damage, and Peanut clearly stands above the rest in these situations. There's one small aspect of Peanut's kit that I haven't touched on yet, and that's its aura. While collecting earth damage isn't the most convenient thing for players to do, especially when you're just sitting there grinding out earth stones in Champions Quest games, having a pet provide a flat 30% boost when needed shouldn't be overlooked. But the real strength lies elsewhere. Currently, if two hunters have Peanut equipped, the earth damage auras will stack, giving each player a 60% boost in earth damage. There's also what I believe to be an unintended feature. Your partner's earth damage aura from their Peanut currently affects your own Peanut's earth damage as well. Now, the aura does specify that it should only be affecting Hunter's damage, so I imagine this will be patched out soon enough. But for now, enjoy it while it lasts, as all four of you will dominate earth vulnerable floors. For me, I think Peanut might be my new go-to pet. Its upfront damage makes it very powerful against low-tier content that still needs to be farmed, allowing you to kill everything faster than Peanut's counterparts. It will easily become my choice for farming Champions Quest, as it really puts in work in there, and if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and check it out. It will definitely speed up your farms. However, for my rule of thumb, I'll still be sticking with the concept of bringing the right pet for the right job. By that I mean pairing my dragon with my fire set, the new squirrel with my earth damage set, and probably keeping Cerberus for my endgame DPS set for bossing. All in all, Peanut seems like a great addition to Hunt Royale, and if you don't want to overthink any of the things I've been talking about, it is a safe bet just to plug it into any set and you'll probably do just fine. But that could probably be said with any of the pets that have been released so far, so play what you like, play what you enjoy, play whatever you think is cool, and honestly you'll be good to go. And now on to the patch notes, which I'm going to keep short and sweet as most of these changes are just bug fixes. The big addition this time around is the ability to earn pet points for previously unlocked pets that you haven't finished leveling up yet. A feature Quara has been hinting at since the introduction of the pet system, so I'm glad it's finally here. Once you've collected all the pet points needed for the current season's pet, in this case Peanut, boxes will start awarding small amounts of pet points for any of the pets you haven't finished maxing out yet. So for example, if you were late to the party when unlocking Serpent Dragon, and let's just say he's been stuck at level 3 this entire time, it used to be that you'd have to wait at least 5 more months until the next dragon pet arrived in order for you to earn more dragon pet points. Now, as soon as you finish maxing out whatever the current pet is, in this case, again, Peanut, you can immediately start collecting pet points for whatever pets you still haven't finished maxing out yet. As for the rest of these patch notes, they're all very welcome fixes and updates, but there's just not really much to showcase here. So with that, I'll wrap things up and get back to working on my Awakening 2 video, which, as you may have noticed, still isn't out. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a beast to put together, so hopefully it'll be worth the wait. I'll catch you guys in that one once it's finished, and until then, happy hunting.